What's going on, family? What's up? This is Tre'Leon, babe. I got an interesting topic for today, right? This is like the battle of the century or something. What is best? Is it real estate cold calling or is it direct mail? So we're gonna tackle that today. We're gonna figure out which one is cheaper, which one is faster, which one is more efficient, and then which one is easier. All right, let's go through those four things. We're gonna really break it down for us and see which one is best here in 2019 in this 2019 real estate market. The market changes quickly all the time. Things that worked 3 years ago might not work now. Things that worked 10 years ago might come back around and work now, right? So we need to keep our eye on the market, keep our eye on the numbers, and see what actually works. All right, let's break it all the way down. So today we're going to tackle the long debated question of which one is better, real estate cold calling or real estate direct mail. So the first question we're going to tackle is which one is cheaper. We're going to do a hypothetical number of leads here. We're just going to start off with 1,000 leads as an example. All right, and then also the numbers that we're bringing up is just going to be an average number. Okay, this is about the average price that you'll pay for certain things. All right, so which one is cheaper? Let's start with direct mail. If we have 1,000 leads and you want to pay for a list of 1,000 leads, it'll cost you about, let's say, average of $250. Now you can find leads for cheaper. You can find leads that are very targeted, that are going to be more money depending on which type of leads you're going after. But let's just start with an average number of about $250 for 1,000 leads. All right, now with those 1,000 leads with direct mail, we're gonna do hypothetically, we're gonna send out postcards. And postcards is gonna be on average about 49 cents per lead of sending out a postcard. And again, you can find cheaper postcards if you're doing high volume, and also you can find more expensive direct mail if you're doing things like letters and type letters and all types of different envelopes. You can actually spend more money doing different tactics, but we're just going to work with average numbers here. So about $250 for the leads, and about $500 to send out your direct mail postcards. All right, so we up to about $750 with your 1,000 leads that you want to send postcards to, right? And then you also have to keep in mind with direct mail is usually not a one-touch type of system. Yes, you can get a deal from sending out one direct mail campaign. I've actually done it several times, and I've known a lot of people that, you can get a deal off of doing direct mail just one time. But the people who want to make it a system, and the people that really want to get your numbers higher, you're going to send out direct mail, religiously, either every month, every 2 weeks, depending on how your market reacts. But you're going to keep sending this mail out so that you can get, 8 touches, 12 touches. With these people, they can start seeing you. When they get into a situation where they actually need to sell, you'll be the one that they see, or the card that they see that they remember, because they've seen you touch them so many times with the postcards. Okay, so sending out actual postcards is going to cost you about $750 for your first campaign, and then if you're sending out religiously every single month, let's average about $500 a month that you should be putting out, sending out your postcards consistently, religiously. And now let's jump over to cold calling. Okay, when it comes down to cold calling, still you want to get a list of leads, so we're going to use the same amount that we use for direct mail. Your list of leads of 1,000 leads will cost about $250 on average. What you want to do is you want to skip trace the phone numbers, and skip tracing is going to cost you on average about 35 cents per skip trace of a number. Okay, so that'll take us up to about $350. Let's just say that. So $350 if you're trying to skip trace 1,000 leads. So we have $250 for the list of leads, and you have $350 for you skip tracing your leads. So that brings us up to $600. All right, so $600 is what your initial campaign is going to be, but then it's also an option which you're doing cold calling if you want to do voicemail drops. All right, now voicemail drops can probably cost you about, let's say, $250 per month, or $200 a month. All right, so you're going to definitely be sending out voicemail drops as your follow-up consistently every 2 weeks or every month, because again, you don't want to just touch these people one time and then burn that list, and then get a new list and then burn that list. That's not how this game works, right? It's not how it works effectively, and the most efficient way is you want to be able to keep hitting this list over and over to get your numbers up. All right, so which one is cheaper? All right, evidently, the numbers that we just did, the cold calling, actually run you a little bit cheaper if you're doing the same volume number of leads. That's going to run you a little bit cheaper, all right? So that's 1 point for the cold calling. So the next question that we're going to tackle is, which one is faster? Now this is kind of an easy one, so we get over this one pretty quickly. If you're sending out direct mail, it's usually going to be about 3 to 7 days before that card actually hits their door. And then once the card hits their door, you know, a lot of them might not call you immediately. They might sit it on the counter, sit it on the table somewhere, put it in a drawer, and it still might take them, you know, days or weeks or even months to be able to pick the phone up, to be able to call you once they have that initiative and they have that, once something actually happens to the home or a situation happens to them, that'll give them the urge to actually reach out and call you. Then when it comes down to cold calling, that's instant. Right? Soon as you skip tracing and you got that phone number, that's just how long is it going to take you to sit down and pick your phone up and actually make the phone and dial the number. So that's instant, right? So right immediately, that's going to tell you which one is faster. Another point goes for the cold calling, because if someone is sending out direct mail to the same lead that I'm about to sit down and cold call, I'm going to be on the phone with that lead, I'm going to be negotiating, I'm going to be in the house, we're going to be signing a contract before they even pick up the phone to call you, all right? The next question is, which one is more effective? So let's just work with the national numbers for right now. When it comes down to direct mail, everybody knows the national response rate on average is about 2%. Then also, when it comes down to cold calling, the national average is about 7% of a response rate. Okay, so those are the two numbers nationally, right? But then also, it's a lot of things that comes with, you know, depending on the way you do things, of how you can up your numbers or your numbers can be less. So when it comes down to the targeting that you do, the type of leads that you're targeting, if you have a super targeted list, you know, and you know these leads are actually real motivated sellers, you're more than likely going to up your numbers on your response rate on both of them. All right, and then also your messaging. Whatever the messages that you put on your postcard or on your direct mail, or the actual messaging and the script that you have for when you're calling folks, that's going to make a total difference on your numbers versus someone else's numbers. If they have an awesome message and they have awesome confidence and they're just, you know, actually solving the seller's problem, they're going to have a much better response rate than someone who's just putting out anything. You have no knowledge, no clue what to say or how to say it or how to write it, and you're just putting out mail just with some random words on there that you think will work. Your campaign and your numbers is going to be a lot lower, as well as the competition. Depending on how much competition is going on in your area, there's a whole lot of other people that send in direct mail, and the seller has a stack of postcards on their desk. It's definitely going to make your numbers a little less likely, so keep that in mind. So even though we have the national average, a lot of those things does make a difference on your numbers coming in on which one is effective. But if we just deal with the national average, then most of the time, you're going to have a better response rate for people that you're picking up the phone and calling versus people who are going to respond to your postcard or your mailing. Now, the last question that we're going to tackle is, which one is easier? Now, this one is kind of, you know, to me, it's kind of funny. It's a funny question only because it doesn't take any knowledge or any type of grind in the real estate industry. All you really need is some money, and you can send out a direct mail campaign. You just, you know, get a postcard template, put the addresses on there, buy your list, spend your money, put the postcards out there. You don't need to know any knowledge. You don't even have to be serious. Most people aren't answering the phone when they put out mailing. And then when they do answer the phone, a lot of people don't know what to say. And so that makes a total difference when it comes down to what's easier, right? Direct mail is super easy. It's super easy to send it out for the first time. You don't have to know anything about real estate to send out direct mail. And it's also super easy to keep it going. I literally can just give my list to my mail provider, and I can just tell them to keep it on autopilot. Just bill me every 2 weeks. I'll just pay for the bill, and they're just going to keep sending it until I tell them to stop. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything. So it's just totally easy with direct mail. Okay, then it comes down to the cold calling. Cold calling is just not as easy. And the simple fact, really, why it's not as easy is because it takes so much heart, right? You got to have heart, and you also have to have discipline to be like, I'm going to sit down 2 to 3 hours a day, and I'm going to pick up the phone, and I'm going to talk to people. That takes a lot of heart. You know, some people just don't have that in them to be able to do that. And then some people don't have the discipline and the time to set aside during the day for that quiet time and that determination, and like nothing else gets in my way, nothing else bothers me. I'm going to have this time to do this religiously every day. And it takes you to have to do that with cold calling. So you reaching out and doing the outgoing versus you waiting for an incoming call is, a total different ball game. And so that's why when it comes down to us, we have two different scripts, because I really recommend for you to do both if you can. If you have the means to, do both strategies, really. But you want to have an outgoing call script and you want to have an incoming call script. And these two scripts are going to be different. They're going to be similar, but they're going to be different because people are calling you in a different mind frame when they're coming in from direct mail. And then when you're doing an outgoing call and it's a cold call and people are in the middle of doing something, it's going to be a total different way that you talk to them to get over certain boundaries and certain obstacles. You do have to have two totally different scripts, and that's what I recommend. I still give it 1 point for direct mail for that one, because I feel like it's just much more easier. With the cold calling, it does get easier because we can have systems to start following up for us, and you will still have to sit down and do phone calls, but you can start getting systems to kind of automate it somewhat. Or you can hire people, you can actually have people to make the phone calls for you, but that's way down the line. Like, you literally got to be good at this game before you hire someone to talk for you, honestly. All right, so I still give the 1 point goes to the direct mail. All right, so right now the score is 1 point direct mail and 3 points for cold calling. It can be a coincidence. Maybe what we did and how we broke it down isn't the numbers for you, but I would like to know, what's your numbers? Are you doing both strategies? And if you are doing both strategies, which one is working best for you? If you're only doing one strategy because you're like, look, this one strategy is working so well for me, I'm not even going to dibble and dabble and do a bunch of strategies. That's perfect. Comment below, let me know which one is working for you so that we all can kind of learn from this together and see where the numbers really are. Now, also what I will also make sure that you guys know and understand is that knowing what to say is going to make all the difference on both of these strategies. And so if you're someone that's brand new, meaning that you've never done a deal before, you've barely did phone calls before, you've barely got you haven't gotten anything on contract yet, I wouldn't even recommend you do either of these strategies. And that's honestly. And I tell all of my coaching students this, especially the folks that sign up for our 7-day boot camp, because our boot camp is about getting the fundamentals right first. Like, you can spend your money if you want to, and you can waste your money if you want to when you don't know what to say. You don't know what to say to the person on the phone. You don't know what to say to the person when you get in the house. You don't know how to negotiate. You don't know how to run numbers. You don't know how to structure deals, but you think if you throw some money at one of these campaigns, it's going to work out for you. No, more than likely, no. And so what I tell people when it comes down to, especially people that's joining the 7-day boot camp, the 7-day boot camp that we have was designed so that you can actually master those fundamental things. And so we're going to go over what you need to do repetitively to master these things. So repetitively talking on the phone with sellers to get a script and to feel comfortable with that script before you spend any money. Repetitively, going over the in-house appointment so that like, this is an in-house appointment, an in-house script that we're going over. I know exactly what to say. I know exactly how to deal with objections. All of that I haven't mastered. I'm comfortable. I have no jitters. All right? When it comes down to running numbers, knowing how to run numbers, knowing what's a deal, what's not a deal. If it even looks like a deal, how can I structure it in a certain way where I can even make money off of it, where the seller can actually solve their problem with the way that I'm going to structure the deal, okay? So those things are necessary before you even spend any money on marketing. You shouldn't even be thinking about marketing until you get those fundamentals together, all right? And a lot of people in the industry wouldn't really tell you this. A lot of courses that you sign up for, they're just going to tell you what it looks like when you're doing wholesaling. These are the steps to doing wholesaling, but they're not going to give you the real boot camp style. These are the tasks that you need to do over and over and over again to be able to know and be good at this industry. All right, so to actually be able to know and execute these deals, not just getting on the phone with somebody and then winging it, that type of thing. If you have 7 days, if you literally have 7 days to sacrifice for yourself to get the fundamentals down first, you're going to take off in this industry. Some people wait months, years before they even understand it, know what to do, know how to say it, and all of those things. Like, some people are literally years going through this, going through the motions. Some people are actually just taking time and setting up their website. Some people are like, I gotta get my LLC first. I gotta do a logo. I gotta get my follow-up online systems right. just a whole bunch of stuff that's just gonna waste time. So either you want success right now with real estate or you want it later. Either way, that's your personal choice. But the folks who are like, look, I need it today. I need it in 30 days. I need it in 90 days. That is systematically done. So you can be the best in the industry by spending years doing this thing, or you can take our advice and take our course, and you can be a master of the fundamentals in a week, and then do one of these campaigns, and then you're dropping down deals, and you're not wasting leads. You're not blowing through hot leads when you don't even know what to do yet. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, guys. All right, other than that, y'all know what to do. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe now. Push the notification button. I want to see your comments below about what type of marketing you're doing, or if you have any questions in general, just let me know those questions. Also, if you have some other topics that you want me to talk about, put them down below too, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.